Okay, boys and girls, so in today's class we looked at linear equalities. And in the previous video, I focused on what an equality is. A reminder that an equality is anything that has an equals symbol. 7 equals 7 is an equality. 3x equals 3 is an equality, because x would be 1. Or dog equals dog is an equality because they are both equal. Correct? So, the concept of an equality that we previously explored now has to be interpreted as a linear equality. Notice that the word linear has the word line in it. So when we think about these equalities, we need to think about a line. Exactly. So let's take a small example of what we had previously seen on the previous video of 4x plus 3 is equal to 23. So when we subtract 3 from both sides, we then get 4x equals 20. Exactly. That's because we took 3 from both sides. We subtracted because there was an addition. And since there's a multiplication, 4 times x, we can divide both sides by 4 to find that x is equal to 5. And the scales would still balance. Because if 5 were to go into x, 4 times 5 plus 3 would obviously give us 23. So now let's think about this on the Cartesian plane. You will notice that the equal symbol signifies that when an x value is something, the y value must be something else. Observe. So in that example that we just saw, when we have 23, we know that y is 23, but we don't know what x is. In this example that we did, we found that x is equal to 5, as we had discovered in class. So when x is 5, y is 23. Let's look at that on the Cartesian plane. When x is 5, y is 23. As we can see, we have the y-axis that goes up and down, and an x-axis that goes left and right. So here we clearly have 5, 23. But why are we solving these linear equalities? Because it's an equality when it falls on the line. Here is the important and critical information. The line represents the equation. What equation is it speaking of, teacher? 4x plus 3. That is the line. But we have an equals to y. So whatever is on the other side of the equation, is our y coordinate. So we have 23 in the example from y, and x is 5, as it can be seen with a punto on the line. But if we will recall as well, that we can also find other y coordinates. So notice how now we're going to look for when y is 19. When y is 19, where is x? Well, for me, I can see that here is 19, and let's see. Oh, look, there's the line. Perfect. And therefore, where is x? Well, x appears to be at 4. So let's make sure that that's the correct answer when we solve the two-step equation. We have 4x plus 3. So if we subtract 3 from both sides, we would end up with 4x equal to 16, because we subtracted 3 from both sides. Now when we divide it by 4 and divide both sides by 4, because there's a multiplication going on, we find that x is equal to 4. Wasn't that what we were looking for earlier? Where x was? Yeah, and as we can see, the point that we have right here is 4, 19. Exactly what the equation gave us right here. How x equals 4 and y equals 19. So essentially anything that's on the other side of the equation is represented by the y coordinate. Let's find out when y is 27. So we have 25, 26, here, 27 is right here. So let's see, when y is 27 right here, perfect, what is going to be our x? Well, visually, we can see that x is going to be 6, 27. Let's make sure, though, that we found the correct answer. That when y is 27, x should be 6. So if we subtract 3 from both sides, we're going to end up with 4x equals 24. Excellent. Now, when we divide both sides by 4, we should find that our x coordinate is going to be 6. And surprise, 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 that is the exact same thing that we have on our linear equation. When x is 6, y is 27. And just like we did earlier, when x is 5, y is 23. And just like how we did at the very beginning, when x is 4, y is 19. So when we say that we are solving linear equations, we are essentially looking for when the x value is blank, the y value is blank, x, y. In 9th grade, you focus on analyzing the line. The key concept that we're trying to get at in 8th grade is when we have something defined at 23, what is the x coordinate? That is the focus of linear equations, finding the missing value when we know what the y coordinate is. A reminder that we will need to plot in the midterm these points so that you can recognize how y has a value when x is something. The key sentence that we're focusing on this term is when x value is blank, the y value is blank. I hope this video serves as a point of reference for when you have to plot a point on the Cartesian plane. The lines will always be given, but the point is what we'll be focusing on. I hope you guys have a good day, and if you need anything, a reminder, I always am available to you in SIA and in office hours. Have a good day, everyone.